Hi, I'm Marlo. For 28 years, I've been a single mom to my son Dylan. I worked 3 jobs to put him through college, celebrated every milestone, and supported every dream. So when he called to tell me he was marrying Victoria, the daughter of tech mogul Richard Winters, I was thrilled, despite barely knowing her. "Mom, I can't wait for you to be part of the wedding," Dylan said, his voice brimming with excitement during our phone call 2 months before the big day. "I'm so happy for you, sweetheart. Have you two decided on the venue?" I asked, already mentally planning what I'd wear. "Victoria's father is handling everything. It's going to be at their estate in the Hamptons. Top tier everything." "That sounds lovely. Do they need any help with planning? I'd love to be involved." Dylan hesitated. "Actually, Victoria's mother has a very specific vision, but you'll definitely be there for the ceremony and reception." "Of course. Just let me know what you need from me," I said, ignoring the slight twinge of disappointment. As the wedding approached, I noticed Dylan's calls becoming less frequent. When I did reach him, Victoria always seemed to be nearby, her voice a constant presence in the background. "Dylan, I haven't received any information about rehearsal dinners or pre-wedding events," I mentioned a week before the wedding. "Oh, those are just for the Winters family and some business associates," he explained hurriedly. "But the ceremony will be amazing, Mom. Trust me." I arrived at the Winters estate on the wedding day, my emerald dress carefully chosen to complement Dylan's eyes, my contribution to a day I had increasingly limited input on. A stone-faced attendant directed me to the check-in table. "Name?" the woman asked without looking up. "Marlo Sullivan, mother of the groom." She rifled through a stack of name tags, handed me one, and gestured toward the garden. I glanced down at my tag as I walked away. Instead of mother of the groom, it read, Afterthought. "Excuse me," I said, turning back. "There's been a mistake with my name tag?" The woman glanced at it disinterestedly. "No mistake. Those were printed according to the bride's specifications." I stood frozen until a familiar voice called my name. Sophia, my oldest friend, rushed over. "What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost," she said, then noticed the tag. Her eyes widened. "Oh my God, Marlo. Did you know about this?" I asked, voice barely steady. "No, I would have told you. This is horrible." Just then, Victoria's father Richard approached with his wife Eliza, both impeccably dressed. "Ah, you must be Dylan's mother," Richard said, his smile not reaching his eyes. "I see you found your designation. Victoria has quite the sense of humor, doesn't she?" "Humor?" I echoed. Eliza laughed lightly. "Don't take it personally. Victoria just wanted everything perfect for the photos. A single mother doesn't quite fit the Winters family image." As they walked away, Sophia grabbed my arm. "Marlo, Dylan just came out of the house. He's heading this way." My son approached, handsome in his tuxedo, but his eyes darted nervously when he saw me. "Mom, you made it," he said, kissing my cheek quickly. I held up the name tag. "Care to explain this?" His face fell. "It's just Victoria's little joke. Please don't make a scene." "A joke? I'm your mother, Dylan. Look, Victoria's family is investing $30 million in my startup. This wedding is important for business, too." He lowered his voice. "Just wear it for today, okay? For me?" Before I could respond, a photographer called him away. I stood there, the word afterthought burning against my chest. "That's it," Sophia whispered, squeezing my hand. "You're not just going to take this." I removed the tag, staring at the cruel label. "No," I said quietly. "I'm definitely not." "I can't believe Dylan just brushed it off," Sophia said as we sat at our assigned table, in the far corner of the tent, behind a large floral arrangement that obscured our view of the head table. 30 million reasons why," I replied, watching my son laugh with Victoria's family across the room. "But this goes deeper than money. Something's not right." "What are you thinking?" Sophia leaned forward. "I need to understand what's really happening. Dylan wouldn't just abandon me like this without reason." James Parker, my attorney for my small business, approached our table. "Marlo, Sophia, mind if I join you? Apparently I didn't make the A-list either." James, perfect timing. I showed him the name tag I'd kept. This was waiting for me today. His eyebrows shot up. That's beyond inappropriate. That's deliberate humiliation. Victoria's parents seemed pleased about it too, Sophia added. Have you noticed anything strange with Dylan recently? I asked James, who occasionally played racquetball with my son. James frowned. He's canceled our last few games. When I ran into him at the club last month, he was with Richard Winters. Dylan seemed different, almost nervous around him. Different how? I pressed. Like he was trying to impress Richard. He kept agreeing with everything the man said, even contradicting himself at times. A server approached. Mrs. Sullivan, Mr. Winters requests your presence at the bar. I found Richard nursing a scotch, watching me with calculating eyes. Enjoying the celebration? He asked. Cut the pleasantries, I replied. Why am I here if you clearly don't want me to be? He chuckled. Direct. I appreciate that. Dylan needed to be here, and legally we couldn't exclude you without causing talk. So instead you publicly humiliate me? Consider it a message. Dylan has potential, but he needs the right family connections now. The Winters name means something. And Sullivan doesn't? A single mother who runs a small bookstore? Please. He leaned closer. The wedding was just formality. Dylan signed the business agreement yesterday. He's ours now. I maintained my composure. Did you know I put myself through law school while raising Dylan? I never practiced because my son needed stability, but I'm quite familiar with contract law. Something flickered in his eyes. Ancient history doesn't matter. Dylan's future is with us. I returned to my table where Sophia and James waited expectantly. Richard all but admitted they're using Dylan. I explained their conversation. They've had him sign some kind of business agreement. That explains why Dylan's been unreachable, Sophia said. They're isolating him. James looked thoughtful. Marlo, remember Ellen from our book club? She works at the county clerk's office, if there's a business filing. I nodded. And my cousin Patrice is still at First National where Dylan banks. What are you planning? Sophia asked. I raised my son alone against impossible odds. If Richard Winters thinks he can erase me and manipulate Dylan, he's about to learn otherwise. James pulled out his phone. I'll call Ellen now. What exactly are we looking for? Anything filed in the last month between Winters Tech and Dylan. And Sophia, can you distract Victoria's mother? I need 5 minutes with those wedding gifts. Specifically, the envelope I saw Richard hand Dylan earlier. Sophia grinned. Consider it done. We're really doing this? James asked. I watched as Victoria cut the cake, deliberately excluding me from the family photos. They made me an afterthought, I said, determination hardening my voice. By morning, they'll regret that 30 million times over. The wedding reception was in full swing when I cornered Dylan near the restrooms, away from prying eyes. We need to talk, I said, blocking his path. Mom, not now. Victoria's looking for me. I know about the contract, Dylan. The one you signed yesterday. His face paled. How did you... Does it matter? What matters is what you signed away. It's just a standard business investment, he muttered, not meeting my eyes. Really? Then why did James just confirm that you've signed over controlling interest in your company? And why does your new father-in-law suddenly have signature authority on your bank accounts? Dylan's eyes widened. That's not possible. I would never... You signed it, Dylan. Along with a prenuptial agreement that gives Victoria everything if you divorce, regardless of fault. Did you even read what you were signing? He slumped against the wall. Richard said it was just formality, that he was protecting the investment. He's not protecting anything except his control over you. And Victoria knows exactly what's happening. No, she loves me. She wouldn't... The name tag, Dylan. Afterthought. That was deliberate. That was just her weird sense of humor. Victoria's voice cut through our conversation. There you are, darling. My father's looking for you. She stopped when she saw me. Oh, you're still here. I held up my phone. I was just showing Dylan the interesting documents James found. Her smile faltered slightly. Dylan, Your mother is obviously confused. Come along. He's not going anywhere until he understands what you've done, I said calmly. What we've done is secure his future, Victoria snapped, mask slipping. Something you clearly couldn't do. Dylan looked between us. Vic, what's she talking about? Nothing. She's making things up because she can't stand seeing you happy. I handed Dylan my phone. See for yourself. As he scrolled through the documents, Victoria's composure cracked further. Those are private family matters. Family? Is that what you call this? I gestured around us. You labeled me an afterthought. You isolated my son. You and your father manipulated him into signing away everything he's built. Richard appeared behind his daughter. What's going on here? She knows, Victoria hissed. Richard's face hardened. This is a private conversation. Leave now, or I'll have security escort you out. I'm not going anywhere, I stated firmly. Mom's right, Dylan said suddenly, still staring at the phone. This gives you complete control over my company and my accounts. It's standard protection for our investment, Richard replied smoothly. By stealing my company, my life's work? Richard's voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. You signed the papers, boy. It's done. I'm calling my lawyer, Dylan said, reaching for his phone. Richard grabbed his wrist. You do that and you'll regret it. We own you now. Take your hands off my son, I demanded. Or what? You're nothing. A nobody. Other guests had begun to notice the confrontation. Sophia appeared at my side with James. Is there a problem here? James asked, voice carrying. Richard released Dylan, but pointed at me. This woman is causing a scene at my daughter's wedding. Remove her now. I'm not leaving without my son, I said. He's not yours anymore, Victoria shouted, control completely gone. He belongs to our family now. The room fell silent. Phones appeared, recording the outburst. Richard grabbed Victoria's arm. Enough! No, Dad, I've had enough of pretending. She turned to Dylan. Did you really think someone like you could marry into our family without conditions? The company was all we ever wanted. Dylan's face crumpled. You never loved me? Oh, please. Love? This was business, and now it's done. Richard lunged toward me. You orchestrated this. You tricked her into revealing. Security intercepted him, but not before everyone heard his threat. I will destroy you for this. I'll make sure you never see another dime from that pathetic bookstore. I'll crush you and your son both. Are you threatening me, Mr. Winters? I asked calmly, very aware of the phones still recording. Because that sounded like a threat. His face contorted with rage. You have no idea who you're dealing with. I smiled for the first time that day. Actually, I think I do. The emergency hearing was scheduled for 9 a.m. Monday morning, barely 36 hours after the wedding disaster. Dylan sat beside me in the courtroom, still looking shell-shocked. Are you sure about this? He whispered. Richard has powerful lawyers. So do we, I replied as James approached with a confident smile. Judge Hernandez is presiding. She's fair and doesn't suffer fools, James informed us. The Winters family entered with a team of attorneys. Richard glared at me while Victoria avoided looking at Dylan entirely. All rise, the bailiff called as Judge Hernandez entered. After preliminary statements, James presented our case. Your Honor, we're seeking an immediate injunction against the contract signed by Mr. Sullivan under demonstrable duress and misrepresentation. Richard's lead attorney scoffed. Your Honor, this is a transparent attempt to void a legitimate business agreement because Mr. Sullivan has regrets. The judge reviewed the documents. These terms are extraordinarily one-sided. Mr. Sullivan, did you have independent legal counsel review this agreement before signing? No, Your Honor, Dylan answered. Mr. Winters assured me it was standard procedure. And the banking authorization? I was told it was just for wedding expenses. James played the recordings from the reception. Victoria's admission that the company was all we ever wanted echoed through the courtroom, followed by Richard's threats. Judge Hernandez's expression hardened. Mr. Winters, these statements, combined with the evidence of deliberate isolation and humiliation of Miss Sullivan, suggest a pattern of manipulation and fraudulent inducement. Your Honor, Richard's attorney began. I'm not finished, she cut him off. I'm granting the temporary injunction. All agreements signed by Mr. Sullivan in the past 30 days are suspended pending full review. Outside the courtroom, Richard approached us. This isn't over. One judge's ruling won't stop me. Actually, it might, James interjected, holding up his phone. The video of your outburst has gone viral. Your company's stock dropped 15% this morning. And 3 of your biggest clients have called me, Dylan added. They're concerned about the ethics of doing business with Winters Tech. Victoria appeared, eyes red. Dylan, please, we can fix this. I made a mistake. A mistake? Dylan laughed bitterly. You called my mother an afterthought and admitted you never loved me. That's not a mistake, that's who you are. I'm sorry, she pleaded. My father pressured me. We can start over. I stepped forward. No, you can't. Some betrayals can't be undone. Stay out of this, she snapped. This is between me and my husband. Soon-to-be ex-husband, Dylan corrected. James already filed the papers. Richard's face reddened. You ungrateful. Careful, I warned. More threats will just strengthen our case. 3 months later, Sophia and I sat in my newly expanded bookstore, watching the local news report on Winters Tech's continued stock decline. How's Dylan doing with the new investors? She asked. Thriving. Turns out companies prefer working with honest business people. I sipped my coffee. And the publicity from the wedding afterthought scandal didn't hurt. Have you heard from Victoria? She sent another apology letter. I returned it unopened, just like the others. Dylan entered, carrying blueprints. Mom, the contractor needs your approval on the community center designs. After Richard's threats to destroy my bookstore, we'd not only saved it, but expanded, adding a community center in the space next door. Perfect timing, I smiled. James just called. The judge made the injunction permanent. Richard can't touch us. Dylan hugged me tightly. I'm so sorry I almost lost you. You didn't. That's what matters. Victoria called again, he admitted. She wants to meet. What did you tell her? That some bridges can't be rebuilt, and that my mother taught me the difference between people who love you and people who use you. I straightened the owner and founder nameplate on my desk. Turns out this afterthought had the last word after all. Have you ever stood up to someone who underestimated you? Share your story in the comments.